Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. What a busy transfer window and what a busy deadline day. We actually got 7 deals done on the final day. Yep, 7 deals on one day. Literally, like all 7 of them happening in the last like 7, 8 hours. So busy day, busy day. The transfer window is now over. So let's get through everything that has happened on deadline day. We'll do a different video on what everything that has happened throughout this transfer window and then rate it on a different video. So let's start with this one. This one was the biggest news today. Obviously, welcome to Arsenal, Piero Hincapie. We've signed the defender from Bayer Leverkusen. We already knew about it a couple of days ago. He underwent his medical over the weekend, and today he has been announced as Arsenal's new centre back, Arsenal's new number 5. He will be wearing the number 5. Then he can play as a centre back, he can play as a left back. He will add a lot to our team. He's very good on the ball, he's very good overlapping on the left side. So will he be the one playing behind Eze? How will he rotate with Calafiori? Will he play at centre back instead of Gabriel, or replacing Gabriel a few times here and there? Or will Calafiori switch back to centre back and have Hincapie, as a left back, and have Calafiori backing up Gabriel? Very interested to see how our defense will be looking, but this is a very quality player that we've signed. And on the article, Arsenal had to say the 23-year-old defenders made more than 100 appearances for Leverkusen since 2021, playing a key role in their Bundesliga victory in 2023. They go on to say, talk about his early career in Ecuador and being a captain of his young team, and him joining us on a loan deal. So it's a loan deal with an option to buy, as confirmed already in the last couple of days. I'm sure we will probably sign him next year. I'm sure he's going to hit the ground running. Most of our defenders usually do. And this is another defender that I'm hoping for great things. He can also score goals. He can also defend. His numbers are really good. He can progress the ball forward. So great signing. And I'm considering we've lost 4 defenders after today. It's 4 defenders that have moved on. Tomiyasu, Tierney, Kiwior, and another one that just moved on in the last couple of minutes. So we've literally lost 4 defenders. And in that position that Zinchenko is or was going to play maybe as a third option. Now we have Hincapie. So now we have 8 defenders, and one of them is Hincapie from Leverkusen. Loan with an option to buy next season. So that is the first done deal, as confirmed there by Arsenal. The second one that gotten done that has come out of nowhere is Alexander Zinchenko. Alexander Zinchenko deal came out of nowhere. Arsenal here wishing Zinchenko all the best. He has joined Nottingham Forest until the end of the 2025-2026 season. This deal literally came out of nowhere, literally an hour before the transfer window closed. We already knew that he was going to stay. We thought he was going to stay. We were told that, he's rejected other teams because he's happy to stay at Arsenal. He's not agreeing on wages with the other teams. And it made sense because he's on 150K per week at Arsenal. Why not just finish his last year at Arsenal and then move on to a different team? He's only 28 years of age. So even after his contract expires, he can still, have maybe a good run in Europe, maybe in England, maybe even in Spain. He can choose which team he wants to go to because, he's going to have the freedom. He's not going to be under contract at Arsenal. That's what I thought, 150K makes sense. Of course, he wants to stay and earn that money. But obviously a week ago or 2, we were told that, he's not being happy about sitting on the bench. He talked about his daughters watching him and, wondering why he's not playing, all that. And I thought he's definitely going to move on. And then things changed. And then now he's actually moved on. Now, has he moved on? Did Nottingham Forest really want him before today? I don't know. Nottingham Forest were about to sign someone else, but that deal collapsed, and they've come for Zinchenko last minute, and he's decided to go there on loan. Nuno did say that he wanted 2 new fullbacks a few days ago. I think he's gotten those 2 new fullbacks. They do have Williams and they do have Aina, but Zinchenko is an interesting buy for them because the way Nottingham Forest play, they literally they really play like a defensively solid game, and they play on the counter attack every single game. So Zinchenko is not the best of defenders, as we know at Arsenal. We never really use him in those games away at Man City, away at Liverpool. We use him in games where we're going to dominate possession. He's a good passer of the ball, still a very good talent. He can play in midfield. He plays for his country there. He can progress the ball. He can pass in between the lines. But in terms of defensively, I don't know how good Zinchenko is. But all the best to him at Nottingham Forest. Season-long loan. His contract is expiring next year, so probably we lose him on a free next season. Arsenal in the article say the 28-year-old arrived in North London from Man City in July 2022. Alex created an assist on his debut. I remember that against Crystal Palace. I think it was for Martinelli from a corner, and then he headed it to Martinelli. The defender had an impressive debut season. Yeah, for sure. We cannot sit down and say that Zinchenko didn't have an impact at Arsenal. Now, Zinchenko and Jesus had an impact at Arsenal. They're one of the reasons why I started competing for the league, the mentality that they brought, and that playing style that we had on the left side with Zinchenko, Xhaka, and Martinelli, very, very good. And we can actually say since Zinchenko and Xhaka stopped featuring for us on that left side, it's never really been the same. We're now just trying to revive it right now with Eze and Calafrio and these guys. But he was a key, definitely a key member of our team. And now he's moved on loan. We bought him for 30 million plus 2 million in add-ons. He still represents his country. They go on to say that he scored his first goal for the club in a 4-2 comeback win against Aston Villa. That was a great game as well in 2023. Alex became the country's youngest goal scorer at the age of 19. Okay, they're just writing his history there with Ukraine and the previous team. So Zinchenko out of nowhere. This was like an RKO out of nowhere. He's moved on to Nottingham Forest on loan. Now, he is not the only defender to move on today. Another defender who's moved on today is Jakub Kiwior. This one we knew about. It was just being finalized. Best of luck in Portugal, Jakub. Jakub Kiwior has joined FC Porto on a season-long loan. This was from Arsenal. All the posts I'm showing you are from Arsenal. The other details, I'm going to get them from somewhere different. So for Jakub Kiwior, we knew he was going to move on to FC Porto, and then Hincapie joining us. Now, for Kiwior, I wanted him to stay. I wanted him to stay as a member of the club because he's been very, very good. But he wanted to go somewhere where he's going to play fast team football. And let's be honest, that Arsenal is not really a starter. Like, despite him finishing the season very, very well, he was very good finishing the season. He was, those games against Real Madrid and PSG, I think he was really, really good. But unfortunately, we knew that when Gabriel comes back, Gabriel is a starter. And right now, you can argue that, Hincapie and Calafiori and all the Mosquera and Saliba, all of them are ahead of him in the centre-back position. So it would have been better for him to go and start. He's an international player. And it's very good. For me, Jakub Kiwior has been a very, very good servant for us. And in terms of details, in terms of his deal, it's going to be a loan deal just like Hincapie and Zinchenko, but for him it's a 2 million loan fee. So we are receiving 2 million euros loan fee right now, and then they have an option to buy him next season, 17 million option, and then 5 million in add-on. So it's a total package of 24 million, 2 million right now on loan. As the loan fee, sorry, and then 17 million option to buy next year plus 5 million in add-ons. So that's what we're getting for Jakub Kiwior. I would have loved to have more because I feel like he's been a very, very good servant for us. And then in terms of the article that Arsenal wrote, they said Jakub Kiwior joins Porto on a season-long loan. The 25-year-old defender has been at Arsenal for 2.5 years. And then they say Jakub, they go on about his story as well, and they say everyone at Arsenal wishes Jakub success for the season. I had at Porto, so they didn't really write anything about the price, but I've already read that for you guys. So so again, he's not the only player to leave. Let's go to the fourth one today. Fabio Vieira has also left Arsenal. Fabio Vieira has joined German side Hamburg on a season-long loan. Best of luck to Fabio Vieira. Now, for Vieira, we thought he was going to go to Stuttgart at some point. They really wanted him, but Hamburg today have come out of nowhere and they've signed two of our players, Fabio Vieira and Albert Samuel Lokonga. Both of them have moved on there. Fabio Vieira, it's a loan deal with an option to buy, and Lokonga is a permanent deal. So let's start with Fabio Vieira first. Fabio Vieira joins Hamburg on loan. The 25-year-old joined. Both of them are 25, by the way, Lokonga and Vieira. So they needed to find somewhere where they would settle in and play regularly. They still have a lot of future in football, or a long future in football. He joined Arsenal in June 2022. I remember how his deal came out of nowhere. You guys remember when he signed Vieira and no one expected it, and David Onsen announced it from nowhere that Vieira is joining us. So he was so excited because we felt like we needed another attacking midfielder to help out Odegaard and also play as the number 8. First season, I guess, was okay, but he's never really, adapted to what we wanted him to be. Should he have gotten more chances? Some people argue that. Some people say, he's too weak for the Premier League. I don't know. So he did score that final penalty against Man City to win us the Community Shield 2 years ago. And then he had that impressive goal against Brentford in the league the day Nwaneri made his debut. He also had an impressive goal against Barcelona in preseason. So he's had some few good moments. I remember his assist for Nketiah against Fulham, I think, and his assist for Jesus in that Man United game where we won 3-1. He's had some moments, I can remember 5 to 10 moments in a national shirt, but they've been fine few between. Is that how you say that? Fine few and far between. I think that's how I say it. English just disappears when you're recording videos. Fabio spent time on loan last season and he returned to his boyhood club Porto. The first versatile midfielder made 42 appearances during the spell with 5 goals and 6 assists. So wish him all the best. This one, there's an option to buy. So if they want to buy him next season, they're going to have to pay 20 million euros for him. I'm glad you're going to get something. I thought you're going to lose him on a free, but all the best to him. Lokonga has left on a permanent deal. We signed him in 2021, a year before Vieira joined us. Now, for Albert Sambi, Lokonga is I thought as well we were going to struggle to sell him, but we are managing to get at least 10 million for him, which is not bad. The 25-year-old joined us in July 2021 from Anderlecht. Like he came with a big expectation. Like company was telling us, how good he's been in Belgium. Thierry Henry was telling us how this guy is has a bright future. I mean, again, the time we signed Lokonga and Tavares, we were a different team. Things changed. We're now trying to compete for the league. So he's gone to 3 different loan spells at Crystal Palace, at Luton, and also at Sevilla. None of those teams really bought him after. Maybe Luton would have bought him if they weren't relegated, but it didn't work out for him there. Another loan deal would have been pointless. Just better for him to go and look for, somewhere to be playing regularly. I must also say we thank Sambi for his contribution to the club during his time with us and wish him all the best for his next chapter with Hamburg. They gone so many games. He played for Crystal Palace and Luton, and last season he was on loan at Sevilla. He made 23 appearances for them. For us, he made 39 appearances for us, 24 which came in his debut season. So he only ever played 39 games for Arsenal. I think he only really played that season because Partey was injured and we didn't have Jorginho. But the moment when Jorginho came in and Partey was still there, Lokonga wasn't never going to get a lot of game time, unfortunately. So all the best to Albert Sambi Lokonga as well, who's moved on to Hamburg. As you can see there, the club can confirm that Sambi Lokonga has joined Hamburg on a permanent deal. Their name is also Hamburger, but I just prefer Hamburg. Wishing you all the best for the future, Sambi. Reiss Nelson, another player who's moved on today. Him is gone to Brentford. A surprise one, because we thought that Crystal Palace were willing to give us 15 million for him, but looks like he wanted to go to a different place where he's guaranteed game time because he wants to prove himself. He's not getting any younger, obviously. If he wants to have any chance of getting into the England team before the World Cup and the next Euros, it's going to be very difficult, but he has to have a sustainable, fast team football and appearances and good and a good run out. Obviously, he's been out injured a lot for us as well. He was out injured a lot for Fulham, so he hasn't really had. I don't think Nelson ever had even one full season where he just plays every single game. No, I don't think so. So he's moved on to Brentford. In the article, Arsenal had this to say: the 25-year-old impressed at Fulham last season before an injury curtailed his time on loan at Craven Cottage. Reiss has been with us for 17 years, making 90 first-team appearances, scoring 8 goals and assisting 9 times. He won the FA Cup in 2020 and played his part in our 20 in the Community Shield victories in 2017 and 2020. Reiss made 68 appearances across our academy teams, and then they go on to say that he played for Hoffenheim in 2018, 2019 on loan, and then he went to Feyenoord for the 21-22 season. I forgot about the Feyenoord run. I remember the Hoffenheim one, but I remember the Feyenoord one. I think they got to a final, if I'm not wrong, Europa League or Conference, one of those. The loan deal is subject to completion of regulatory processes. Everyone at Arsenal wishes Reiss all the best for his coming season with Brentford. So we will see him in the league. We will see Reiss Nelson in the league. He's not going to play against us, but we will see how he does in the league. Hopefully it goes better than the previous players that have gone out to different teams, because he hasn't really worked out for the previous players. Like Hincapie hasn't really featured for Crystal Palace. Holding never featured for them really. Matt Turner never really featured for Crystal Palace after leaving, and both of those players, Turner and Holding, have ended up back in USA. So hoping it goes better for Reiss Nelson and he can revive his career then. Then last but not least, Nygaard. Nygaard has also left Arsenal. the club can confirm. Wait. All the best to Lucas. Goalkeeper Lucas Nygaard has completed a season-long loan move to Danish side Brentford IF. So that is in the second division. And then the article, they say that the 19-year-old goalkeeper joined us last season following his departure from New Zealand and penned his first professional contract with us in June 2024 on the day of his 18th birthday. At Denmark Youth International, Lucas Martin was a part of the 2024 men's first team pre-season tour of the USA, and before making 13 appearances across all competitions for our academy last campaign. Seen as a progressive goalkeeper who is comfortable with the ball at his feet, we look forward to seeing Lucas Martin's continued development and wish him all the best for his loan spell with Brabant. The loan deal subject to regulatory processes. So those are all the 7 deals that have happened today. This is a academy goalkeeper. At the moment, we have Raya, we have Kep, and we have Setford. So in terms of goalkeepers, we are absolutely fine right now. But all the best to Nygaard over in Denmark, his home country. Hopefully succeeds there. But yeah, it's been a busy day for us. So it was already a busy transfer window. But Hincapie has now joined us. Zinchenko has moved on to Nottingham on loan. Kiwior has moved on to FC Porto on loan. Vieira has moved on to Hamburg on loan. Reiss Nelson has moved on to Brentford on loan. Lokonga has moved on to Hamburg on a permanent deal, and Nygaard has moved on to Denmark. I don't remember the team, Brabant, on loan as well. So a couple of them have options to buy. A couple of them have options to buy. Zinchenko's contract will expire next year, so I don't know if you're going to get anything for him. I don't think so. Let's see. Let's hope that players like Vieira and Nelson can perform really well in those teams, end up buying them, so we can finally move on from that chapter, those chapters. So let me know what you make of all that. What do you make of the transfer window so far? We'll have a different video where we recap the whole transfer window, but that is everything that's happened on deadline day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you. Before, I just remembered Zinchenko has been signed by Edu in Nottingham Forest, so that is interesting. I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.